Hello and welcome. My name is John Ontal. I'm the founder of NicheMarketMedia.net, and today we're going to share a fantastic success story, and I'd like to introduce you to the guy that's having all the success over here. Meet Ryan Greco from Moonlight Productions.
Thank you for having me, John. I appreciate it.
Ryan is a videographer, and we're going to tell his story and how he did some things in his life that absolutely changed his life and changed his family's life too. Sure. So, Ryan, first off, tell everybody where you're from. Where'd you grow up?
Sure. I'm originally from Western Pennsylvania, specifically around Pittsburgh.
Nice.
Grew up. That was the first 22 years of my life is where I spent there. So
nice.
That's where I'm from.
Awesome. And I'm assuming you went to high school there. And
I did.
And after high school, what was the next step for you?
After high school was college. I attended Penn State University in University Park, Pennsylvania. 2 years was at a branch campus that was closer to my hometown, and 2 years was spent at University Park.
And that's I would imagine you got a big fancy degree.
I did.
Nice. And what was that in?
I studied finance.
Nice.
It was a great experience in my life. I loved it, and that somewhat leads us to where we are today.
Sure. And just so everybody is aware, Ryan's not finance. He's not in finance anymore.
That's right.
And also, after college, after this degree, what was I'm going to tell everybody kind of how I grew up, and I'll ask if it was the same for you. You grow up and you're told to go to school, go to college, get a degree, and maybe hopefully get a job and work there for the next 40 years, and hopefully have a pension and work at one place. And that's how I grew up. And did you experience anything similar?
Yeah, that seemed to be the mindset that a lot of young people had at the time. I think that was a philosophy that may have been more prevalent in the past.
Sure.
But I found today that it's been a little bit more difficult.
Yeah.
But that was my plan, was to leave college with a good degree, good grades, and move on to something that I could work towards in the finance field.
Sure.
And see where it went. And
so you're out of school, you've got a finance degree from a big university, and so what did you do after that? Did you work in finance? What was next for you?
Next, I did an internship
Nice.
locally here in Hilton Head, and that was great. I learned a lot of things, and through that, I was able to get a job with a property management company. So not straight along the lines of finance, but still kind of touching on that area.
Gotcha. And then so now you're out of school. You got an internship. And that's where we are. We're in beautiful Hilton Head Island right now. And so you've got an internship, and then what was the next step for you after that?
To get the job with a property management company.
Okay. So you went from an intern, then you worked your way, so you put in some work, and then you got a job. They hired you on.
Yep, I did about 400 hours of at an internship, unpaid.
Wow.
Which was, I was really excited about it.
Right.
I knew that it was going to give me some tools that I needed to move forward.
And so just for everybody that's watching this, so you put in work, and you weren't afraid to put in some time.
Exactly.
But you wanted to, you were hoping to grow, I'm sure. Is that correct?
Exactly.
And did you stay there? Did you stay at the finance?
I did not, specifically because it wasn't in the finance field.
Okay.
100%. So I felt the need to change that. And pursue something different, which led me to working within a bank.
Okay.
So that was for about 4.5 years that I was with a bank.
Okay. So you worked for the property management company, and you got hired there, and then you wanted to move more into your field of finance, and so you did applications, or what was the process for you to get hired by the bank?
Same as anywhere. Just applied
Gotcha.
at a bunch of different places. That included financial advising houses, banks,
Sure.
And a lot of other things, accounting jobs. But I did end up at a bank, and that leads us to where we are today, I guess.
Gotcha. And so now you're working at a bank, and so would at the time, going into this, did you think maybe like, okay, now I'm on the path, or what did you think? So did you have expectations? I mean, you had to tell us about your expectations.
Absolutely. Expectations were definitely there. I have a strong work ethic, so I felt that with that, that I could at least prove to somebody that, I was worth keeping and worth pushing forward to newer, better things. So I definitely had some big expectations.
Gotcha. Okay, so now you're working in theoretically at the time, your dream field.
Mm-hmm.
You're in a bank, and you had expectations of working up the chain.
That's right.
And so, how did that work out for you?
Well, not very well. It was, I did enjoy the job. It did teach me a lot at the beginning, but there became a point where I realized that I wasn't going anywhere.
Right.
There was no opportunity, or at least I wasn't given any opportunity.
Right.
And, I find that a lot with a lot of young people these
Sure,
days
sure.
are having issues with that. They have a job that they may or may not like, but there's just nowhere to go. And that's where I was. I was
Gotcha.
stuck in one spot and literally never moved.
And when you're stuck like that, I would imagine, and I'll let you elaborate, how is it waking up and going to a place like that? Like if you're not, if you know it's like a dead end, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's at first, obviously you don't see that.
Right.
It's great. You have expectations, as we just talked about, and but there becomes a point where you wake up every day and you have to go to a place that you're not getting anywhere.
Right.
And that's hard to deal with.
Sure.
It's kind of demoralizing.
Right. That's an interesting way of putting it. And so this 4.5 years you were at the bank. Did you finally? I mean, was there a tipping point, or when did you realize that you wanted to do something else?
Really, the tipping point was when I started to think about my family and about where we're going to go.
Right.
It was a good job, and it didn't pay very well, but compared to other places, it did. So it was a tough decision to what to do. And that's when I started thinking about, okay, the future of buying a house and having children,
Sure.
and just doing all of the things that married couples do.
Right.
How do we get there?
Right.
How do we secure a job that's going to be able to provide for that?
And then maybe even a growing family. someday.
Exactly.
Right. And what did you do then? Did you did you go back into the application mode again? Were you trying to?
Yes.
Well, like so tell me about that.
I did. I went back to try to look for something different. And this was really a huge tipping point for me,
Right.
because I put out over probably close to 30 resumes with companies from Hilton Head, Bluffton to Savannah, and I did not get one call back,
Right.
which was
So
scary.
when we're talking about and you said what Hilton Head, Savannah, and Bluffton. So we're talking about a metropolitan area that's, I don't know, is that close to 500,000 people maybe?
I'm
or
sure.
3 to 500.
It's gotta be.
A couple 100,000 people. We don't know exactly, but it's a lot of folks, and so you would think there'd be a lot of jobs. So now you've got a big degree, 4.5. You've got 2 job experiences that went well for you.
Very well.
Property management. Now you're 4.5 years in a bank, and you can't get a job in a field that you went to school for.
Exactly, and it wasn't that the jobs weren't there. It was just I could never make that connection with the company itself.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was the very, very sad part about it, was that you put the time in to reach these people and you
Right.
never get anything back.
Right. Some people not even contact you back.
Nobody contacted me.
Nobody. Okay, so he got 30 no's. Okay, so he got 30 no's, and then so now you're really at a position where. So what next? You had a hobby, or how did this come about? To
Sure.
What were the first steps for you?
Well, videography has been something that I've done for a long time on a personal level.
Passionate level.
Yeah,
Okay.
family videos,
Gotcha.
vacation videos, things
Right.
like that.
Sure.
A little bit of photography, and that was kind of an idea that just one day popped into my head. It wasn't a thing where it was a drawn out decision. It was just that's where I know I'd be happy, and that's where we're gonna go.
Gotcha.
And,
So
we started.
So basically, you had enough of you. Maybe you had a realization. I know I had one at one point. Is that if you're not going to live your own plan, you're living somebody else's plan, and they probably don't have a lot planned for you.
Exactly.
Okay. So now now are you still at the bank at this time?
No.
You're done at the bank, and so you are. But did you start a business at the same time, or how did that go?
I did. I'm a conservative person, so
Right.
I didn't want to just take a huge leap
Gotcha.
and try something new and leave something else behind. I kind of intertwined the two,
Okay.
and I did start my business, videography, while I was still working at a bank.
Okay, good deal. And so, all right. So now you're working, you're putting out applications, and somehow you're probably learning, or maybe you're even working a little bit. Did you have jobs already? Were you getting any business at that point, or were you just trying to put together your brand, so to speak?
I did have jobs, smaller things. The first job I did was for the local high school here. It
Nice.
was something that I did with no money involved.
Right, okay.
It was just a kind of a test run for me to see how I liked it,
Gotcha.
how well I would do at it.
Right, and so once again, you know, this guy's he's putting. If everybody's hearing this, or if you're hearing this, you got to put in time. You got to put in time, and then and so obviously now we're in an age where you can reach everybody on the internet, right? And so so what did you do? Did you start to build your own website, or how did that go?
There's a service that anybody can use
Yeah.
where you can
So-
buy your own domain name,
Right.
build your own website. That's
Right.
where I started.
Right.
And obviously that wasn't working out. You know, I looked at it aesthetically; it just wasn't looking well.
Gotcha.
You know, it did tell my story a little bit and about what I do, but it wasn't reaching the right people.
Gotcha. And so now he's he's trying to. A lot of people are trying to do things themselves, and I guess you saw an advertisement for that, or you were looking online at how to build your own website, maybe. Okay, so then a lot of people go through this where they'll get a build your own website, and they'll find out that it's very hard, to manipulate like you want it. There may be buttons that don't work. It's just it's a nightmare, and then then we kind of found each other, or you
That's
found
right.
me, and Niche Market Media, we marketing consulting, and we build brands online, and we teach businesses how to do the same thing. And so I'm going to hop in and kind of tell a little bit of this. So I get this. There was a form on my website, and this guy and it's a very long, detailed form, and I read the form, and I'm like, wow, I got to talk to this guy. I looked at his website. I'm like, there's a lot of potential here, and so that's what he did. So you went searching on the line, and my business was positioned online, and you found me, and actually tell everybody how many people that you actually reached out to again and got no response.
It was a simple Google search. I knew nothing about building websites, so literally I typed in website consulting in Google, and you and probably about 4 others came up, and so I figured, you know what, I guess my plan here is just going to email everybody, and once I hear the response, and make a decision at that point. So.
And when we chatted on the phone, I called him. He put his contact information, and I was like, wow, this guy would be a great guy to work with, because he looks like he's building this brand, but he needs some help. And so that's when we got together, and he hired me to build his website, and where we want to go from there is what happened when we did that. He told me what all he wanted, and we built this, and what happened, like, once we got that website up, how did things start to change for you?
Relatively quickly, things started to change as far as the emails and the phone calls. People were able to find me. That was my most important thing,
Right.
was just reaching the right people, and it certainly did that. And things changed pretty quick once the website was completed and positioned the way that I wanted it to.
And so now he's got this website, and he does videography, and when you put this together, you now have what you update it yourself, and tell me how
I do.
and gave him a tutorial on how to do so, and so you tell what all do you do with your website?
Well, I will say that was one of the best parts about this whole friendship that we've formed, is that you not only built my website, but you showed me
Right.
ways that I can continue to position myself and continue to update it and make it fresh content for people to see. So what do I do on it? Obviously, being in videography, I want to showcase the videos that I've most recently done,
Right.
And some of the work that I like the best. So that's the main thing, and also just information, what I do, what I provide for people, the types of services, and then obviously the blog. The blog's a great thing for me to upload some photos and some still frames from some of the footage that I've taken and that I find interesting, and maybe other people will do the same.
And so now he's got this website, and then somehow in this time you told the bank goodbye, right?
I did, yes.
How did that feel?
It was a mixed emotions. It
Right.
was scary,
Sure.
because you never know what you're getting into.
Right.
But it was also liberating,
Yeah.
because finally I'm taking a step to do something for myself.
And so he took a leap of faith, and so one of the first steps he did was we got a website, and the website is very functional, and then he can upload it, and then also he's talking about some of the ways you can position yourself, and we went over some SEO stuff, and I wouldn't even say it was great detail, but we got right to the point on what to do. And next thing you know, if we go to Google and search, Hilton Head videography, you're what, the top 1 or 2, right?
It's right up there, and like that's my favorite part about you is that you showed me how to do that, and
yeah,
that's huge.
And there's multiple terms like that, and we set up a way that he can analyze where his traffic is coming from, and so he can see where to position himself, which is awesome. And I hope you don't mind me asking you this, but I just want people to know. Okay, so you worked 4.5 years at the bank, and then within the first year, how did your income compare to when you worked at the bank?
Substantial difference. Obviously owning your own business, it's ups, it's downs.
Right.
But
Sure.
I've essentially have doubled what I've done at the bank. So
wow,
that's a great feeling.
Wait a minute,
yeah.
double. So congratulations, by the way.
Thank you.
When I hear that, it's just it's incredibly exciting, and he's a success story. He's a guy that he thought he was going one direction in life, and then he took what he was passionate about it, and he eats this stuff up, and so now that was within a year, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think when we talked before, you said when you were first trying to do it with your own website, the way you had done it, it was a little slow, but once you went all in and got the website like you wanted it, and then it kind of just took off once you got in motion, right?
Sure.
And so I want to talk to you about some of your successes, and
Sure.
So Ryan, you want to tell some of these people maybe who you've worked with?
Obviously weddings, people all over the country. I've done weddings that obviously they're local here in Hilton Head, but they travel from all over the country. And some other clients that I've had, local businesses here, I do some TV, commercials for TV as well as TV shows. And also I've worked with the Beaufort Film Festival, which was a great experience. It's a huge event here, and
Wow.
To be able to cover that was not only gratifying, but it was just fun to do.
So, and I didn't mean to interrupt you, but
Sure.
so in this area that we live on an island. It's a beautiful, beautiful place, and people come here from all over the world to have their weddings, and so they're finding you online, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're finding you online, and now he's getting referrals, and it doesn't all happen immediately, but when you're in forward motion, these things happen, and then from that, somehow along the line, next thing you know, he's doing something called the Beaufort International Film Festival. What? Just so these people know, tell them some of the movies that were was it Forrest Gump or some other movies that were actually filmed there
In Beaufort,
They
yeah,
filmed there,
that's
yeah.
what we based the short video on, was the history of Beaufort, and I didn't even know the history of Beaufort until I started to do the research and to see Forrest Gump. There's a bunch of other ones, like 5 or 6 movies, big movies that have been filmed in Beaufort, and to see that firsthand and to be in that location because of what I do is a great feeling. It's
So,
really neat.
so now you're rubbing shoulders with is it Andy McDowell that's
Mm-hmm.
there? She's a famous actress. Was she one of the speakers, or was she?
She was the main guest,
Okay.
the guest of honor.
So that's pretty awesome. And now and I couldn't be more happy for you. And then some of the other things now that you're also doing to help your business, and some of the stuff we've touched on, and some of the stuff you're learning to implementing social media into your repertoire as well.
Absolutely, you've given me the knowledge in how to properly post and what to post and how to reach people and to become more of an interaction with them rather than just them find me. I think that's a great thing.
And this guy here, I've actually hired him now on a couple of jobs, and I actually went and taught a boot camp to a business here. And so Ryan actually got to he was taking notes back there while he was videotaping.
right.
I mean, he did a great job, but he was just like, wow, I didn't know that. And so so what I want to tell you all today, well, Ryan, thank you so much for telling
Thank
your story.
you for having me. It's a pleasure.
Oh, absolutely, and it's just, and we're two guys that met on the internet, and now we talk about our families, and we talk business, and we refer each other, and we help each other with our successes, and a little bit different than when Ryan got started. Now I knew that this was something. I have done consulting and teaching. I teach with clients that are way bigger than I am about how to do their stuff, and that's all the internet marketing. And so today, when we're done here, you're actually going to learn more about about Ryan's successes and some other successes on how to market your business and how to, turn it from just an idea and a thought to an actual reality. So there's a place below the video to put your email address in, put that in there, and so you're going to learn what else Ryan has learned, and I'm going to teach you some more stuff that can help you with your business. So thank you for tuning in. Once again, Ryan Greco from Moonlight Productions.
Thank you, John.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
And I'm John Ontal with NicheMarketMedia.net. Have an awesome day.